What's up, world? Welcome to another edition of the Life Malcom Show. As usual, I'm so happy to have you tune in with us today. You tell me it's a very special day in colonizer land. Your boy Derek Chauvinist just got convicted of all three charges, they tell me. And so I'm happy about it because I know it makes people I know happy about it. But we're going to talk about it a little bit. Actually, we're going to talk about it a lot. But just to be clear that, let's start off like we like to start off by first of all thanking the In Touch News family, especially DJ CEO and Mrs. DJ CEO Tampa Bay Tammy, for putting together this platform and allowing the Life Malcom Show to be a part of the In Touch News family. I'm also always greatly appreciative of having my super producer DJ ANA in the building, making it do what it do. I used to know a cat named DJ Make It Do What It Do. And but you make it do what it do. So we got a show lined up for you. As you may know, we got some guests coming in, and so I don't want to bite off too much of that sandwich everybody waiting to snack on called the verdict. We're gonna feast on that. But I do want to, before we jump into that, say a few things about the recent occurrences of the week. For example, the fact that your boy Black Rob dead at 51. 51 years old, kidney failure, and other ailments, they say. Man, what the hell? I mean, first DMX, and don't get me wrong now, Black Rob, he was dope, but he wasn't no DMX. But still, he was African of some prominence at one point in time. Who I don't care. 51 years old. Because I'm gonna say it. That's what I mean. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. If you 51 years old with kidney failure and 4 or 5 strokes or something like that, they said in the past 6 years, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, you ain't taking care of yourself. And now, I remember, I'll never forget it. And, I ain't going to say no names because DJ King, I don't want nobody to be mad. But I remember when a brother named Leroy Selman died. I think Mr. Selman was in his 50s. I'm sure of it. Young. I don't even know if he was as old as his football number on his jersey when he died. And my first response was, we need to say something about it as a community. And I mean, like when I say first response, I'm talking about as soon as I heard it, I think it was MySpace back then. I still don't remember it being Facebook. But I jumped right on that and said, yo, we gotta say something about it, do something about it. And these Africans, or at least one African, criticized me and said it was too soon to talk about that. And you might have heard me say it before. How soon is too soon when such a clear message, like a super hero type like icon, such as Leroy Selman? I mean, this guy was, a hero to a lot of people. And for what he did on the football field, I mean, when you thought of when you saw Leroy Selman or thought of Leroy Selman, you saw and thought of man. I remember them pictures of him on the sidelines with that afro and that look, like here, tear you apart on the football field. And I mean, after that, he became such a household name in Tampa because of business ventures and what have you. And then, boom, dead. James Evans. But I say this though, after that criticism, after I came under heavy criticism, because after that one African said, everybody else started chiming in, yeah, why you saying that? Nah. And after that, at that time I wasn't as politically mature and personally developed enough to have the damn conversation anyway. I cared a little bit too much about what Africans who didn't have nearly as much social awareness or understanding as I, social consciousness as I, to have the right response to what happened to Leroy Selman represented in our community, influence how I dealt with that. And that'll never happen again. Because I believe that had I put the pedal to the metal, kept my foot on the gas, so to speak, and drove the point home, many of us who have died way too young from so-called health ailments would still be here. Or at least have had a better shot at it. And I'm not saying I could have saved any damn body. I'm just saying that I know what political education can do. I know what organization can do. I've seen the results for myself. I promise you right now that I see dozens, if not hundreds, of sisters walking around with naturals now. But I've been on that for almost 20 years, and people thought I was crazy. Oh, why you got to always talk about our hair? I am not my hair. And I'm not doing it to look like white people want me to look, or to look like white people are. I'm doing it for my own personal this, and it's my own personal all this malarkey. But I kept pushing. I kept seeing little sisters with the natural and saying, "Sister, I love your hair. Sister, I love your hair." When it was short, now it's long, thick, some of them locks. Sister, I love your hair. And sometimes I used to have the opportunity to see a sister with natural hair, rocking her own hair, standing next to somebody with all that other stuff in their head. And look, man, my daughters wear that stuff in their head. And I tell them like I'm telling, I think that's silly, but hey. But I had the privilege to sometimes find a group of women where one of them had the natural and several others had that unnatural in their hair. And I say, "Hey, sister," to the sister rocking the natural, I'm like, "Sister, I love your hair." And oftentimes, the little sisters with the whatchamacallit in their hair will look at me and be like, "Well, you ain't say you like my hair." And I'd be like, "'Cause I don't like your hair." And, more and more I've seen, I see the influence of complimenting and encouraging natural hair and discouraging that other stuff. I'm sure enough waiting for it to have an effect on my children. But I remember being a child, and oh man, I ain't want nothing more at 8 years old than to have a Jerry curl like Michael Jackson. I wanted my Jerry curl like Michael Jackson Jerry curl, dripping and all that. My mother would not let me get a curl, and I was so hurt. I mean, I was mad with my mother about that. But every summer, I got to go out to L.A. to visit my pops, and the summer of my 8th year on Earth, I went out to L.A. and my cousin Joanne lived in L.A. at that time, and she put my father. I said, "Mama won't let me get no curl. Yeah, get a curl." Man, I went to go get a curl, and man, look at here, boy. I remember using Stay So Soft, Carefree. That was in the yellow bottle. Stay So Soft was in the brown bottle. Worlds of Curls in the gray tube, right? And the gel so you wouldn't be dripping. And I thought I was doing it that summer. And I got I think I got a retouch right before I came. So the new growth had come in, got a little longer. Soon as I got to Tampa and my mama saw that, no, she didn't cut it all off. She just cut the length. So I had a short curl. I was the only Negro in the whole world with a short curl. You understand me? And this was before S curl in the box and all that came. I had a short curl, and what make it so bad, it would grow. And my mother, she said, well, since you got it now, I ain't gonna cut it out here. So she take me to go get it redone, and had a lady who did the curl cut my damn hair. I'll tell you that story just to say I remember what it was like to be a child and to want that kind of stuff. So I let my little girls do it because I sure don't want them mad at me. The other thing, though, I would say is I see the influence of me calling people African. I want nobody talking like that. But like, what's up, Sister African? What's up, Brother African? We African. You African. And now, I see people on Facebook. I hear people in the street, saying African, Brother African, I'm African. And my point is, we can influence each other. And when you know you're right, damn it, just stay right, no matter who say you're wrong, if you know you're right. And so, to that point, people like Black Rob, DMX, Leroy Selman, James Evans, and so many others should have taken care of themselves, and they would still be here. And we got to take better care of each other. And so I'm so glad that we have a brother on the program who knows a little bit about that. The brother went from being from. It's funny. He went from loving food and being fat to loving food so much. He's slim now. He's got a different kind of love for food. But we're going to talk about that when we get back. And also, we're going to bring my man Delvin White on the show. Stay tuned right here, In Touch News. And you can call in at 813-444-9588. Do that. We're going to be talking about Derek Chauvin and a whole lot of other stuff right on the other side of this break.
Radio, the most loved station across the nation. Touch Radio. Tell a friend. Touch Radio.
You missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 1-800-361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky. It's a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and giving you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
Hey, it's Madam CJ and I want you to listen to Trap Talk Radio at 8 p.m. every Thursday right here on In Touch News, www.intouchnews.com.
All right. Yo, so happy to have in the building with me right now his brother. I just met him, but you know, you don't have to know somebody for a long time to know when you're talking to a kindred spirit, to know when you talking to somebody who knows what they talking about, who is into things that you into or gonna get into, because I ain't into it yet. This brother right here, he deep with it, right? Brother who is dedicated to the betterment of Africans and African people, you know, and who is just cheerful and giving it with knowledge and resources. The brother is a pleasure to know, and I'm sure you're going to be gruntled getting to know him on the show. You see how I be dropping the vocabulary words on y'all, right? Gruntled. I'm sure that you're going to be gruntled getting to know my brother Spirit Mike tonight on the show. Y'all put y'all hands together for Spirit Mike. God, clap it up for Spirit Mike. Spirit Mike, what's going on, brother?
Hey, man, I'm happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure. So check it. What I'm going to do is introduce Delvin right quick, and then we just going to talk about it, man. We're going to talk this sugar honey iced tea.
All right, we want to talk about it.
All right. So, this brother right here is famous for being what I so on this show, you know, we can't say the word for which he was fired. So I remember I told a story one time about this lawyer that I know, old lawyer named Delvin Stewart. He said that he was in court one time and the white judge, this back in the day, he old lawyer. So he said back in the day he was in court and the judge kept, and so he had a black client. The lawyer friend had a black client. He said the judge kept saying the nigger. And Delano Stewart said, he told him, he said, look, Judge, it's Negro. Like how you bend your knee and the grass grow, it's Negro.
Yes.
But since we can't say that one word that my man got fired for, we've been saying Negro. And so I've mentioned Delvin before as the Negro who got fired for saying Negro. And he's famous now all over CNN. He was already famous in the hood for the job that he's done with the children.
Yes.
In one of the toughest, roughest communities. And not tough and rough because of the people, but tough and rough because the way the colonizers keep their knees on our neck. And we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Right?
Shout out and let's talk about it.
And I mean, he's managed to maintain a level of integrity, doing the job that he chose to do in our community.
Yes.
Being a stand-up guy, even amongst a bunch of less than stand-up people. Yeah. And I've known this brother since I was a child, almost since he was born. Know his family. His father, like I told you before, sold my mother my first car. And I don't say any of those things to say anything other than I know this brother, and y'all gonna get to know him too. Y'all gonna get to hear from him firsthand, whatever he wants to share about the story. You know the story. It's all, like I say, it's all over the internet. And we really happy to have him right here on the Life Malcom Show. Y'all put your hands together for the famous but fired Tampa cop, Delvin White. Y'all put your hands together for him.
Hey.
Delvin, can you come in?
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that was such a welcome introduction, my brother.
I appreciate that, man. I did my best, you know. Gotta.
Nobody wants to be famous for being fired, but here we are, and we're going to make it do what it do.
That's what's up. So, listen, man, I talk on this show every week. But y'all here as guests, and we got something to talk about, right?
Yes.
Y'all called me right after the verdict.
Yep.
And said, "Hey, you know what the next big conversation is?"
Absolutely.
All right. So, who want the first bite at this sandwich?
Okay. Let me get the first little chomp. I mean, okay. What I want to know, this is a question, and this is a real question. What is the sentiment of the people? What is the sentiment of the people? Are the people, elated that the guy was convicted?
Yeah.
I want to, before I get a little bit, down and dirty into what I, want to say, I want to know, what do we know of the sentiment of the people?
Well, right quick before you do that, let me say this. People can call in and let us know at 813-444-9588. Holler at my man, Spirit Mike. Holler at my man, Delvin White. Call in, 813-444-9588. And, there's a question on the table. How you feel about the Derek Chauvin verdict?
Yeah.
But hell, let me ask you, how you feel, Mike?
Because, hey, okay. Check this out. I'm going to make sure I'm trying to go live on here. And I'm having
All right, I know how it is.
So, now, automatically, black people going to say, see, yeah, we got justice for, it's like for the first time,
Yeah.
But we don't sit back and analyze the situation.
Analyze it.
So they tried to push the fireman to say that the guy he could have been revived, right? So the fireman, you think about firemen, I don't know any fireman that has been immersed in scandal or anything. So they tried to get them to and they didn't bend, right?
Right.
So we won. But the system is still corrupt.
No, that ain't gonna
So
change.
so the next president gonna come through. The next one, he gonna pardon him because he have that ability. You see, the next president can pardon.
I don't know.
He can pardon.
I thought presidents could only pardon on federal crimes, but you be knowing stuff though. So.
I'm just saying. I mean,
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, if the system is corrupt, just because you think you got a symbolic win, I mean, what do you got?
But why you getting that? You getting way far ahead. We
Yeah,
might not
I'm
have to
just-
wait.
yeah,
I'm
you
just
brought-
saying,
yeah,
we
yeah,
might not have to wait for the next president because we still waiting for the sentencing.
True.
Huh?
True.
Just because he got convicted, don't mean he going nowhere for a long time.
True.
Delvin, what you got to say about it, brother? Come on in.
Man, I feel good that we got a conviction, but let us be real, people. They didn't have no choice. That city would have burned down, and many other cities
100.
would have burned down had that man been set free.
Facts.
But what I'm feeling from a lot of the black people I'm talking to is that they don't feel it was enough. He got a third-degree charge. He got a second-degree charge. He got another second-degree charge. So a lot of people, black people, saying, we're happy that we got the conviction, but we felt like you should have got more.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna tell you that's a good point that you brought up about the jury not having a choice because listen, the jury, although it would be hard pressed to say that somebody got to all 12 jurors and bribed them or persuaded them some kind of way to come to this conclusion. What you can believe for sure is that the jurors have their own personal selfish interests at heart. Mm-hmm. They don't want their stores burned down. They don't want their job messed up. They don't want their city shut down. You understand me? So they had a personal stake in making sure that they rendered a verdict that did not rouse the colonized in the colony. They had a personal selfish interest in coming back with a verdict that kept the colony safe. Okay. Look like you want to say something, Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a little bit more I want to get on my soapbox about. Okay? So, now I understand that it was a true travesty of justice that occurred with what the police have done. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But once they sentence him or don't sentence him, once again, the system's still corrupt.
Right on.
You see what I'm saying? And once again, we're still in the same, place.
Right on.
As we were. So when this type of stuff happens, I don't know why we don't just use these type of things to galvanize ourselves to empower ourselves, right? So I just did, like I said, I just did the little math on 1,000 people. 1,000 people with $20 a week for a year is $1 million.
Yeah.
1,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, land, grow your own food on the land, get your own police force. This is what we. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These things. Once he gets sentenced, we still in our same social economic position.
Yeah.
Right. You know.
And I want to clean up something for me. Just so for me, I'm an African internationalist.
Yes.
And I understand that this whole system that you call corrupt
The beast
is this is what it was built to be. This is what colonialism is. It is what it is. The system ain't broken and all this kind of stuff. So I mean, maybe corrupt is correct, but I just want to be clear that it was born that way.
Facts.
It's gonna die that way when we kill it. You understand? Facts. Yeah, that's
but that's what I'm talking about. So once we see that the system almost don't have any redemption qualities in it.
Yeah.
So if we just do nothing, it's still our fault now.
So Delvin, go ahead. Delvin, talk to us about the so you wore the uniform, and I want to say this, that everybody know I don't have no love for the police, but everybody know I made it clear on this show. I've been knowing you for a very long time. And one thing that's different for me when it comes to you and as it relates to other police, specifically in Tampa, you were in the community before you were in a uniform. Am I right about that?
Absolutely. And that's very important because you already have a sense of credibility. Because I played baseball at Belmont Heights Little League. I was affiliated with Southeast, but we would go to Belmont Heights from time to time to play Belmont Heights. But going to New Mount Zion Church, going to get a haircut at Cole's Barbershop. Yeah. So all these are things I grew up doing. So it wasn't nothing, foreign to me to patrol those same areas.
And when you went into those areas, how did the people treat you?
Well, it was a difference because it was like I wasn't afraid of them. I didn't treat them as criminals or thugs. They were just people I knew. People I knew, people that knew my dad, people that knew my mom, some of them my cousins. So, I just want to say this, Malcolm, while I'm on here, I never took pleasure in arresting a black kid or a black person. You know what I mean? That I can kind of see them as my brother. You know what I mean? As my cousin. You still got a job to do. But it's different when you don't take pleasure in it. When it's just like, listen, brother, I'm doing this because it's my job. But when you get out, man, trying to make some better choices. So I would always try to give them some advice, try to help them out.
I'm glad you said that because we're going to come back and talk about a job to do. But right now we're going to take this break right here. We got my man Delvin White. We're going to hear from him when we come back. My man Spirit Mike. And, of course, I'm Life Malcolm. It's the Life Malcolm Show on In Touch News where everybody is a star and the biggest star is you. Hit us up, y'all. 813-444-9588. Be right back.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. Separated. We were able to get in touch with each other and had no idea how to find each other. The whole experience was the most frightening 10 hours of my life. If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm
don't ignore
and keep to
this
the plan.
message.
Some parents plan ahead. Some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
All right. All right, y'all. We're at the halfway mark of the Life Malcom show. So, we gonna give it right back to my man Delvin White. Delvin, I'm a let the people know who just tuning in. We just said that you were in the community, the African community, before you were in a uniform, and we talked a little bit about, or at least you did. You talked a little bit about what a difference that made as far as you going into the community in a uniform. And then you said something that I wanted to come back to, that you hated, or you never took pleasure, rather, in arresting a black kid, a child, I believe you said. And but you had a job to do. So now I want you to finish that thought, but I want you to finish that thought with this question, but and answer this question too. Why in the hell did you choose to do that job?
Like that's a great question, man. If not me, who? You know what I mean? I grew up. My mom and dad were both police officers. And so, when I went away for college, I played baseball a little bit. I had a mortgage business. But I was looking to come back to Tampa and do something like to really help the community. And so, me reaching out to my dad, he's like, you can always come back to Tampa as a police officer. So I was like, I had never really thought about it. I said, you know what? Maybe this is something I can do. I can look into it. So I started the year-long process, and I was accepted, and I got into it. And that's one of the best things I've done in life. I'm glad I was able to do it.
That's what's up.
Yes.
And why is that? Why do you say that? Why do you make that statement? Because some people hear that, and with that Derek chauvinist in mind, they're like, how in the hell can that be one of the best things an African could do? How can an African say that? So go ahead and say something about that, man. Why do you say it?
Here's the thing, me and Brother Mike, we coming at it at two different ways. He wants to tear it down from the outside. I'm looking to make change from the inside. So you need to have good black men and good black men and women inside the police department to help make the changes that we're looking for.
Can I go ahead? I want to go ahead and make a correction on that. I don't want to tear it down from the outside. No, I don't want to tear it down. What I'm proposing to the people is I want to do like every other group have done, found their own police force. Or a security force that be the go-between between the, I guess it would be the corporation and the other law enforcement and the citizens. So I'm saying, hey, if our civil government don't respect our black officers, we should, and there's precedence about that. So it's not outrageous for us to spend our money. It's just like $20 a week. And you can have your own police force to protect you from the people that are not protecting us, but it's supposed to be their job. You see?
Yeah, 100. So
I feel you, Mike, and Brother Malcolm. Being a black police officer is probably one of the toughest things because you're getting it on all sides. People in the hood like, man, you with them, man, you ain't with us no more, and they don't really want you there. Yeah. So you have a feeling of like you don't really belong in any place. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. A lot of black officers catching hell from the department. And so it's tough, man. It's tough. And the ones that make it 20 plus years, like my dad and his friends and Al and all that stuff, man, it's truly a blessing, a testament to them and to their fortitude to do that. But again, you need black officers out there to help in our community.
Yes. And I would say this. We need them to help in the community, but like you said, we need them to do work on the inside too. And, I don't know if we have the same, you and I, Delvin, have the same kind of idea about the work that must be done on the inside if you choose to wear that uniform. But one thing we do agree on is that if you're going to put that uniform on and be on the inside, you got to work. And the work I'm talking about, the work I'm thinking of is you got to do the work of the people. And the people have to know that you're doing the work of the people. And I would say that judging from the response of the people, and don't get me wrong, I mean, so, you know, people, a lot of people, African people especially, are politically backwards. So I'm not saying that they have a good grip on what's going on as far as the understanding of the police. But what is clear is that they have a good assessment of how you handled them when you were in the community. I mean, because dig this. Most people might not know, but the whole emergence of the school resource officer, you know where that came from? The school resource officer? You know where that came from? It came from the colonizer during the integration period. Needed somebody to stand as a protector between them and their children and African people. And so they instituted this thing called a school resource officer who has a history of being brutal to African people. I mean, right here in this city, you've seen, what's Brittany's last name? I can't remember Brittany's name right now, but the man broke her jaw at Chamberlain. You remember that? I mean, and there are numerous other examples of the type of brutality and harassment that we see from school resource officers, as they're called, in the school system. However, I ain't never heard nothing about you till this hacksaw chief colonizer Brian Duggan tried to make you the poster child for oppression and discrimination in the Tampa Police Department. Imagine that. Out of all the sidewinding, colonizing, nasty so-and-sos and such-and-suches in the Tampa Police Department, this guy gonna try to make you the poster child for discrimination and oppression in the Tampa Police Department. But your street record, I ain't never heard nothing about you hurting some child, brutalizing some child, terrorizing children, etc. And so that says something, I believe, about your connection to the people.
Well, we always, and I was talking about my parents, to treat people with respect. And children are no different, man. And we call them children, but they, 16, 17, 18, the same people that will be charged as an adult had they, committed a serious crime. But you treat them with respect, and you show them that you care. And that goes a long way. So, like you say, I'm so thankful for the community that I have a 8.5-year track record of serving the community. People know, hey, if Officer White had to arrest me, I deserve to be arrested that day. And again, it ain't personal. It ain't that I'm mad with you or that I don't like you or whatever. It was just, when you're out there living that life, it's a cost of doing business that you may get caught at some point in time. But again, did that officer treat me with respect? When I was in the back of that police car and I asked him, could I call my mama? And he let me use his phone to call my mama when I was in the back of that police car. So things like that I've done, to just try to show people respect. The same respect that I would want somebody in my family to be treated.
And so when my man Mike raised this $1 million and put some of it in the hands of the African working class so we can build black community control of the police, guess who's gonna be a candidate for that organization? Because again, I don't we all make decisions based on our understanding of the world at the time. I was in the Navy one time. I was a saluting, shoe shining, rack making, about facing. Yeah, boy, I was a better white person than the white people were.
Hey,
and but fortunately, Malcolm X rescued my brain from the grave. You understand? And I've been doing the work of the people as is clear. But the point is, your career choice notwithstanding, it does not mean that you cannot do the work of the people. And so when we take black community control of the police, and we will, we will build that. Look, man, people are begging for it, clamoring for it, even if not out loud on the inside. You understand me? Especially since this George Floyd thing, people are more politically galvanized than African people I'm talking about than we have been since the 60s. And so the time, ain't the time when we control our communities ain't so far away. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I want people say that the stuff I propose is radical sometimes, and I don't I don't find it's radical. All I'm saying is this, all right, people, we see that they treated our brother, incorrectly. So in every instance where we see that we are mistreated, we build our own. And it's not hard. We spend all of our money and resources on all type of stuff. For the cost of going out for a weekend and just getting it started, just getting your weekend started, $20 a week, 1,000 people in a circle, and Dr. Claude Anderson is a person I study from, like Powernomics. If you aggregate that money, you can pay for your officers to be secure in their job, and all we talking about is just providing a place where they can do their job honestly without being pressured to do wrong. You see, they say that's radical. I don't find that being radical. So once you provide that type of atmosphere for good officers, then guess what? Then it's going to be inviting, so they won't have that pressure to hit their cousins to them upside the head to fill a quota, so the government can run. So they come over. They come to a righteous environment because why? Because the pressure's off. So they can actually de-escalate situations, because we know we need officers to de-escalate or to handle situations that we don't want to handle. Because I'm not, somebody gonna snatch a bag, I'm not finna chase them. I'm getting too old for that. I'm not going. My knee might go out.
So
so I want officers to do that. Yeah, go ahead.
We need dual and contending powers.
Correct.
That's what we need. Like you said, Malcolm said a long time ago, when they got theirs, we got ours. Can
I add it before I lose my train of thought? We are in a capitalistic society, right? And they tell you that money talk in bull jive walk in a capitalistic society. But when it comes to our protection, when it comes to our food sovereignty, we don't want to spend any money. We want somebody to give it to us. Oh, please, make sure I eat. Well, say, hold up, you know we're in a capitalistic society, and you know that when they said the land of the free, they was owning slaves, so it wasn't talking about us. So we know all of this stuff. So
that's why I wanted to say, when we talk about these dual and contending powers, it's I don't know if I can agree with the fact that it ain't hard, because if it was easy, we've been done it.
But now,
look, we're gonna talk about that because you doing it.
Hey.
You doing it.
Yes.
You doing it a little something with your food sovereignty.
Yes.
Your plan. We're gonna talk about that.
Food independence.
Yeah, food independence. And so we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna take this break right quick though. Hey, y'all finna learn something super cool. Sugar Honey Iced Tea by my man Spirit Mike over here. When we get back from this break. This is the last break of the day, so y'all better call in if y'all got something to say. The Life Malcolm Show right here on In Touch News, 813-444-9588.
Absolutely.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661.
Call in and tell a friend to listen in.
Listen!
It's In Touch Radio, reality radio.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
Right. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. I told y'all my man Spirit Mike is, he ain't just talking about this independence, about doing this, and I agree, it ain't radical, but I can't agree that it ain't hard. Because listen, and it ain't nothing wrong with hard. Right. Ain't nothing wrong with struggle. Look, let me tell you something about our ancestors. Our ancestors worked hard all the time. Mm-hmm. And there ain't no way in hell you can tell me that what you do out there in that garden is easy. Now, come on now.
Hey, I'm not saying it's easy.
Oh, well, that's what you said. Well, you can't tell me it ain't hard.
But what I'm going to say, okay.
Right. But tell us what we talking about when I say the garden. Go ahead and break it on down.
Okay, family. Like I said, my name's Spirit Mike. And I got a little shine for taking my stimulus money, right, and creating a garden. And I call it creating generational food. Not, just like generational wealth. So the COVID thing happened. So I got scared because the people that I trusted to feed me, because I had the money, I was working, I was doing my thing. The food was becoming scarce. So now I had to, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to rely on myself to feed myself. So it was like, wave. I said I'm gonna have to depend on myself to feed myself, and that was radical. Because the whole time we always, we don't realize that whoever feeds you controls you. And we always, even the person that's in the $1 million mansion, he don't understand that if nobody accepts his millions of dollars, he can't eat unless he know how to go and hunt, unless he has those type of skills. So even if you got $1 billion, if they say, well, we don't want your billion, we don't want your American dollars, we want the euro dollar. We say, well, I don't got euro dollar. Well, you're gonna have to convert it at a half the price. Well, that means, That means I can control you.
Get your food.
That means
go ahead and talk about your garden, man.
Okay.
Tell people about that, man.
Hey, so I started a garden called New World Growers. I got a little pushback because of the name, and the name is a radical name. Because why? Because I want to take my own nutritional well-being in my own hand, So I started a garden. I found some information that was hidden in plain sight. I found some information that you can buy fruit and vegetable trees with food stamps. That was a earth shaking, thing for me. So now I started teaching people that, hey, if you use your food stamps, if you buy, 5 plants a month, at the end of a year, you don't need the food stamp because you have an orchard. So, and you said something earlier. You said, growing is hard. Yeah, it's hard, but being poor is harder. Because if you got 1.5 acres of land, you can make $100,000 to $120,000 a year if you use the programs that they got on the internet. They put chickens here, put 30 there, rotate here,
so what
feed
you
them there.
got in your garden?
Yeah, I got a little bit of everything in my
garden. You want to keep talking about this social thing. I'm trying to get some shine too. Yeah. Tell us about your garden.
Hey, man, I have a little bit of everything in my garden. I have 9 chickens. They produce 9 to 18 eggs because sometimes they double a day. At 6 months of age, a chicken produces an egg a day or 2, depending on if you're feeding the right type of feed.
Right.
So I have 9 chickens. I have like a papaya orchard, little mini papaya orchard. Yellow and green bell peppers. Strawberry, guava, muscadine grape, passion fruit. I have a lot of stuff, bro.
Because I'm gonna let Delvin, kind of take us
in the middle
out.
of the hood. Let's not. In the
That's
middle
where is
of
the
hood. In the middle of the hood It's down 29th Street on 23rd.
You have to
yeah,
get
they come out,
man.
man.
Right
yeah,
now,
they can come out. They can come out.
Some of us are hungry.
Yeah, yes. It's 2915 East 23rd Avenue, Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
Right here in the middle of the no man's zone, I
Right
guess you
on.
want to call it sometime. But yeah, man,
Now, how much time you spend in the garden? Let's say a week. How many hours?
Say I have to dial in for me. I spend about 4 hours, 5 hours a day actually in the garden.
Okay, that's dope. All right, so now, what's the next big move? Like, are you doing like a garden showing, or like what's the next big move for Spirit,
right
like,
now?
in the garden?
Right now, I'm getting a lot of shine. Like the thing that came out just this morning that Vice did the story on me. So now that their platform, they like their smallest platform like 1.7 million, and the other one like 5-something million subscribers. So I'm running on that right now. So I want to see what that does because I've never been, I did the Bay News 9 story, but I don't know. So the next thing for me for that company is I want to get some land in the outskirts of town, right? And I want to, so instead of using other people's property to sell the goods that I'm going to grow, I'm going to use the house I stay in now, and I'm going to use shelving. So I want to empower us. So why go and rent somebody else's stall to sell your goods when you can use yours?
All right, back. So Delvin, we got 5 minutes. You got most of them. I'm gonna just close out like the last 60 seconds. So go ahead and run what you want us to know about you. If you got some closing, not closing, but parting thoughts about the Chauvin case, the verdict. If you can. If you don't mind telling us if y'all taught to do that knee to the neck to a nigger kind of thing, I mean, whatever you want to share with us, man, it's all you.
All right. First of all, I want to thank everybody for their support. DelvinWhite.com. You can learn how you can help. You can send an email to the chief or to the mayor. You can donate to my GoFundMe page. Cash App is $DEW44. We just out here working, man. Like I say, I got 5% of the N-word to another African, and there was no complaints, and there was no issues except the powers that be. They said that they didn't feel it was okay. And again, Tampa Police does not have a policy that says you can't say the N-word. The policy simply says you can't say a racial slur, and you can't get a complaint of a racial slur. And my content is I never said a racial slur, and I didn't get any complaints from saying a racial slur. Now, we need a lot more time than 3 minutes to talk about the police tactics, the kneeling in the back, and all that stuff. So I'll say that for next time, brother. But again, thank you for having me on. And as a people, man, we just got to stay vigilant, man. I guarantee if them hundreds and thousands of people weren't outside that courtroom, we might have got a different verdict. So as long as we out there, we stay vigilant, we got to hold them accountable to us, and then something happens. That's all you like.
Bet. And I want to appreciate that, man. I really want to appreciate you coming on. I know it's a lot going on in your world right now. You're dealing with a lot. And I really want to appreciate you coming on, Spirit Mike.
No problem.
Sharing a little bit of inspiration for the food generation. You understand? I want to say this, people. Make no mistake about it. It wasn't just 100,000 people or so outside the courtroom. It was the rebellions that happened every damn day after this chauvinist put his knee in the neck of our brother and killed him in front of everybody. It was the rebellions of African people rising up to say that we ain't organized enough yet to take over, but damn it, we tired of what y'all doing and we finna figure it out soon. And so they had to sacrifice this man. Just like they had to give up $27 million. And I said it before, $27 million wasn't what what the state thought George Floyd's life was worth. $27 million was what they thought saving the colony was worth. They didn't think George Floyd's life was worth a counterfeit $20 bill. The state didn't think that. And so right now they're faced with a serious the colonizer is faced with a serious question. We have to stay vigilant. We have to hold them accountable. But it's no longer just the ballot or the bullet. I just came out of a powerful powerful electoral school campaign where the Black is Back Coalition for Social Justice, Peace, and Reparations are educating the African working class masses to run for office and take advantage of the political campaign, the electoral process, if you will. And we recognize, just like the colonizer does, that it's no longer ballot or the bullet or just the ballot. It's the ballot and the bullet. You're going to get them both. And if you don't act right, the people have said it's going to be a little bit of burning too. And so, yeah, we really want to appreciate everybody for tuning in. I saw a lot more people tuning in. So they must have saw y'all handsome faces and said that they had some eye candy. Or
man,
they must have knew about your food.
I'm bursting. I want to say some stuff, but we're going to have to save it.
We gonna talk about it.
Yeah, we gonna talk about it.
Yeah, we
gonna cut loose.
They must have known that something special was gonna happen here, Delvin. I really want to appreciate you again for coming on, and I'm looking forward to the next time we get together and have a discussion. I'm sure this won't be the last time.
Absolutely.
And listen, everybody, thank y'all for listening. Next week probably won't have no guests, so I can just sit back and talk that sugar honey iced tea with you. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. In Touch News, the Life Malcolm Show. I appreciate y'all so much. Candy, you funny. School research officer.